I'm going to talk to you a little bit today about how I ended up going from school hating geography to doing a job which most people look at as being geography based, and the kind of choices I made in between to get to where I am today in a job that I genuinely love. Right at the beginning, decisions. I think that is an actual school photo of me. I think that's how long ago it was that I was at school. I'm somewhere up the back. At school, I kind of had a good idea of what I wanted to do. I wanted to be a musician or a teacher, one of the two. By musician, I mean rock star, obviously, touring the world, wowing fans. And yeah, that's kind of what I wanted to do. But I found out very, very, very quickly that both are not necessarily the easiest things to get into, and you can't be too picky. And what I found whilst being at school is there's certain things that you really enjoy doing and other things that you don't. Like some subjects you just really hate. That was the one I hated. Geography, I had no interest in maps, the world, anything to do with that at all. So when it came to choosing, it was either teaching or doing something as a musician. And the careers advice at the time was like, what are you really interested in? Follow your heart, do what you want to really, really do. So I chose music. I was like, that'll be a great career. I'll be able to tour the world, working with different bands, maybe in a band myself, playing to thousands of people. And found out very, very quickly that that wasn't the case. Learning a subject doesn't necessarily mean that there's jobs out there at the end of that. And specifically in music, unless you're actually doing the work as well as learning the work, there's no jobs. There's no jobs for it at all. So I went away, studied, come out with a qualification in live sound. And I was like, yeah, there's no work here. And then instantly became unemployed. So no job at all, didn't know what to do, followed my dreams, no work at all. So after that, you kind of have to get into work and start doing some stuff. So I started doing some retail, so working in some shops. And a lot of people would be like, well, that's nothing to do with what you wanted to do, Duncan. That's completely the opposite direction. But actually what I found is talking to people became quite easy. The more people I spoke to, the more comfortable I got. And you just build relationships with people. I didn't stick to that job very long, maybe about 2 years. And I found it at times a bit frustrating and I wanted to do something else. So I kind of went back to being unemployed again. So basically back to where I was before, but I had skills that I didn't have before. Those skills were that I could chat to people, understood customer service a bit better. So I went from there and I started working in clerical work for a local authority and started working for a department who did civil engineering. So I was doing their admin for them essentially, typing letters, doing filing, telling them when their database wasn't working. And through doing that, I started building up a relationship with the people in that department. So when a job came up in there, which was a bit more technical, and they could see that maybe I could do that work, they offered it to me, which was my first brush with GIS, which is Geographical Information Systems. Basically digital mapping for data. And my first job with them was taking hand-drawn documents like that and digitizing them on a computer using databases. And yeah, that was fun. I enjoyed that, did that for a couple of years. And I got pretty good at what I was doing, specifically the software I was using, which was developed by the company I now work for. I was so good at it that when they came to hire people to work on the redevelopment of that, they asked me to apply for the job, which I duly did. And I started working with thinkWhere. Now, I only knew a tiny little bit of GIS, and it wasn't anything I had been interested in before, but through time, I started learning real GIS on the job, so on the job experience. And I was doing customer services as well, speaking to our customers, so leaning back on the skills that I'd learned on other jobs. So every step was a step to learning something new. So I know what you're thinking. Duncan, at the beginning, you said you were going to be either a rock star or a teacher. And it doesn't look like you became either, so what happened there? Well, it's interesting that if you break down what teaching is, it's taking skills that you have and teaching them to other people. And that's kind of what I do with thinkWhere now. I'm a senior consultant and I travel up and down the country showing people how to do GIS, which at its kind of basic core is actually teaching. And I've done that everywhere. I've been up to Inverness, down as far as London, helping different people learn about GIS, develop skills themselves to take back into their workplace and show them that it's not as daunting as they might have thought it would be. But I've continued that on. I've done Career Ready as well with a student from Stirling High who I've mentored for a year and a bit now. He came out and worked with the company for 4 weeks just before the summer holidays. And on top of that, I get to talk a lot to a lot of people that will listen to me. And that includes traveling the world and doing events. We, as a company, are small, but we've been to Europe, America, up and down the UK as well. This was just a few weeks ago in Edinburgh, a giant summit which had international guests. So, do I like geography now? Has that changed? Because that's kind of what I'm doing as a career. The short answer is no. I still don't like geography. It's not anything that I'm really interested in. So, can you do a job that you have a subject in that you don't really like? Well, yeah, because it's more the tech aspect that I'm interested in. The output's just the geography side. So you can take your skills and move them on. And in terms of what I did with my live sound qualification, I'm not a rock star, but I created a podcast and I do that as a hobby now. So I'm still using the skills that I learned at college, but I do it for fun. I think that's it. You take the subjects that you have at school and the things that you want to do, and then you adapt them and then take them out into the real world, into careers. Doesn't mean that you're not doing what you love. You just find jobs that incorporate those elements in an interesting way. Thanks very much.